Yes, and welcome back to the 94 Club for your daily dose of country music. Hey, look, this week we've got another great lineup for you again. We're looking at Home Free, Zach Bryan, Whiskey Myers, Tyler Childers, Coulter Wall, Luke Combs has got a new track out, and Benjamin Todd just dropped a new one on VHS, so Gems on VHS, so I really want to check that out. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Let's see who we've got today. Okay, so we're back again. We're going with Whiskey Myers' Ballad of a Southern Man. The last one I did was Broken Window Serenade, and I just knew I had to check them out again. So I'm kind of hoping you enjoy this one. I know it's a good song because a lot of you requested it last time. And it's got like 17 million views or something crazy like that. So we're going to see what we think to it. I'm sure it's going to be good. I've got the lyrics. Let's get into it.
This song is called Ballad of a Southern Man, and we wrote this song actually in the hotel room where we were staying. We stayed for a month in Denton. We were recording, and we got together and kind of wrote a song. The song kind of explains, I guess, where we're from, and it's really a true story on a lot of sense, just about, you know, how we grew up, or how I grew up on the prison farm and all that. And it also talks a lot about what we thought was going on in the world right now, and just kind of everything, how we feel, you know, from our point of view.
I mean, it's interesting. So he's quite laid back. I think if you watch my video that I uploaded a couple of days back, which was the Hill Country Devil Rats Get Fat, when they talk about music right at the beginning, and he's obviously given a little, when those dogs stop barking, he's obviously given a little bit of a bit of background on why he writes music, why he makes music, and how they come up with songs, and he's done that here. One of the things that the Hill Country Devil said is he can only write things that he's lived through or he feels, and he can put that into a song because he doesn't know any other way to write. And I feel that's very much similar with these guys. He pretty much said the same thing there. So we're gonna listen to this and see what we think.
My first rifle was a 243 that Papa gave Daddy and Daddy gave to me. They told me to shoot with a steady hand, but I guess that's something you don't understand. Now I grew up on a prison farm. He could pull the shine from a mason jar. We used to go fishing down on Pickle Creek Dam. But I guess that's something you don't understand.
Right, so we're basically saying you don't know what it's like to be where I'm from, kind of thing. Cool.
And Grandma was in the kitchen, and Papa's done passed on. Out on the front porch, just a picking on a song. And there's blood on the table. We worked for what we had. And I was raised in this land. But I guess that's something you don't understand. Now I still fly that southern flag. Let enough to brag, and I know all the words are simple, man, but I guess that's something you don't understand. I pledge my allegiance the original way, saying Merry Christmas, not Happy Holidays. Can't change my ways, I know who I am. I guess that's something you don't understand. And Grandma was in the kitchen, Papa's done passed on. Sit out on the front porch, just a picking on a song. And there's blood on the table, 'cause we played for what we had. And I was raised in this land, but I guess that's something you don't understand.
It's actually a really beautiful song, right? I think the whole idea of you don't actually know what it's like to come from where we come from, and I think that's something that you'll hear a lot in country songs, especially. I know these guys kind of border a little on southern rock as well. I've spoke about what the difference probably is between those two before. But with this, I mean, essentially, like this is what it's like to be a southern man, and if you're not from this place, you won't understand, literally. So we will do a real deep dive in the lyrics right at the end, so please do stick around. I am really enjoying this. There is one line in particular that stood out to me so far, and that's that, and there's blood on the table. In the first chorus he said, because we work for what we have, and then this second one in here he said, because we bled for what we have. It just shows how blood, sweat and tears, and that whole message goes into providing a living for a family. So yeah, it's cool. Let's carry on.
Grind us up in a big machine, feed us all on the same beliefs, a holy dollar and a credit card. But we got a way of doing things, no banker's gonna steal from me. They wanna tear it all apart, and grandma's in the kitchen, and Papa's done passed on. Sit out on the front porch, just a picking on a song. And there's a Bible on the table, see bled for what we had. And that's the ballad of a southern man. But I guess that's something you don't understand. My first rifle was a 243 that Papa gave Daddy and Daddy gave to me.
Cool. So what I think is quite interesting about this song, and I know what we're saying at the end of each line is, I guess that's something you don't understand. I don't think he's talking to everyone. I think he's talking to, you know, in every location, I guess, state, you have the poorer areas, the richer areas, and it's definitely a class difference, and he's definitely saying we have to work so hard for every single penny, whereas you have it a little bit more comfortable, and life's a bit easier for you, so you're not going to understand the pain that we go through. I think it's the working class speaking to people above. I don't think it's this is what it's like to be in the South. You will have no idea how hard it is for us compared to every other region, because I know even in this country we do have places that are filled with working class people that are struggling to get by, and even, you know, my granddad, so 2 generations ago, I was born into a very working class family, yeah, it's just about working hard and hoping it pays off, and you do need a little bit of luck along the way to make it happen, because he got quite fortunate. He won, it's not the lottery, we call it the pools. He won a bit of money on that. Wasn't huge amounts, but he won enough to buy a plot of land and build a house on it, which he built himself with his bare hands on evenings and weekends. So it goes to show that you know, hard work spread into my family as well. Cool. So anyway, sorry, that's a little personal story for you. We'll go into the lyrics of this then. My first rifle was a 243. Papa gave Daddy and Daddy gave to me. Interestingly, yeah, guns are hand-me-downs, especially if relatives have kept guns from the war. They do get passed down. They obviously don't work, but they're nice mementos almost. And they taught me how to shoot with a steady hand. I guess that's something you don't understand. I guess maybe even like outside of the culture, and I think this is everything that makes up a Southern man, which is why which is why everyone won't understand the message. But this in particular is all about hand-me-downs, tradition, love of family, that kind of thing, and love for those that have come before as well. Cool. Now, I grew up in a prison farm, sneaking pools of shine from a mason jar. That's moonshine, right? I am learning every single day. Used to go fishing out Pickle Creek Dam, but I guess that's something you don't understand. So he didn't have like, you know, rolling fields to go and play tag football or something, or whatever it is you guys play, I don't know, or polo or something like that. He just used to go and hang out at the dam, and that was their like getaway time. Doesn't even happen anymore because most kids grow up spending their time on A, social media, or B, video games. I'm guilty of that. I like to play video games as well, but anyway. So the chorus is really sweet. Grandma's in the kitchen, Papa's done passed on. We sit out on the front porch just picking on the songs. And what's so interesting is that whole vibe and that whole like feeling of togetherness when you're playing music, and it's something we do. So we come in here. I spend most of my weekends in this little pub that we've built. My cousin's a fantastic guitarist, so he comes over and he can sing as well, hold his tune. He'll come over and play a few tunes for us, and we've got him into country, which is the beautiful thing. He's learnt Tyler Childers, Colt of Wool. Next up, we'll get him on some Whiskey Myers. But he's actually pretty talented in it, and it's good to listen to live, especially when it's close family and there's like maybe 6 or 7 of us, about 8, maybe even 10 of us at times in here. So it's quite good. Cool, and there's blood on the table because we work for what we have. And I was raised in this land. I guess that's something you don't understand. And yeah, he's kind of talking to everyone. There is a bit of a class thing going on, but there's also a location thing and a heritage thing going on. So there's so many different nuances that make up a Southern man, and he's trying to touch on as many as possible in this song. So really nice. So I still fly that Southern flag, whistling Dixieland enough to brag, and I know all the words to Simple Man. And I guess that's something you don't understand. Cool, so that was just a nice touch on what it's like to be from the South and loving your country and being a true patriot, that kind of thing. And we go into this again, and he doesn't really steer away from tradition in this next bit of the verse. He goes, I pledge my allegiance the original way. Say Merry Christmas, not Happy Holidays. I can't change my ways, I know who I am. I guess that's something you don't understand. And the interesting thing about this part is we start saying things like Happy Holidays, and it really starts to dilute our culture. It happens in this country, and I think part of that comes from the fact that we don't respect each other's cultures. Like, there's so many of us from different communities, different cultures, different backgrounds that live so close to each other, especially, I don't know if you know, but in the UK, I think the combination of different cultures is actually a beautiful thing, and I think we should all respect each other. But I think what happens is, and being from I guess England or Britain or United Kingdom, whatever you want to call us, knowing that our history has been invading other countries and taking over, not respecting the places that I think one of the only places where we probably in the past, what's the word? Yeah, one of the countries that we kind of, I don't know, is it invaded, infiltrated? I really don't know too much about our past. But if you go to New Zealand, for example, compared to Australia, the culture in New Zealand is absolutely beautiful. All of the signs are still in Maori. There's a real respect for each other's traditions and cultures over there, and the country's actually running really well. Obviously, they've got perks of being out the way. They're not on like a trade route, so you don't have to go there, pit stop, and on to the next place. It's kind of like right at the end of your destination of where you travel to. But it's a really beautiful place, and everyone respects each other so well, to the point that if you speak to one of the, I guess, indigenous people or one of the Maori people, when they greet themselves to each other, they start with like the landmark, and then they'll say their father's name, and then they'll say the landmark, and then the town, then the father's name, and then it'll go all the way back to their name. But they come last in that sort of sequence of events, and I might be completely wrong with this, so do put me on the right track if I'm going astray, but that's all out of respect for your land and your location and your family before yourself. Like, all of that is going to be there when you're gone, so yeah, it's just an ultimate sign of respect. But you compare that to countries like our country, And it doesn't feel like everyone's trying to work together. And I think that does come from the fact that we had invaded so many different countries that there just wasn't a sign of respect there from us. So why is anyone going to come over here and respect us? I don't know. I don't even know how it's going to get fixed. But if anyone sees this, just try and get along with each other. It's all peace and love and harmony. Anyway, let's carry on. I went way astray then. We got the chorus again. And then it says, they'll grind us up in a big machine. They'll feed us all on the same beliefs, holy dollar and a credit card. But we got a way of doing things and no banker's going to steal from me. They want to tear it all apart. And the way that he delivered this was like, he brought that southern rock voice back in, and it was beautiful to listen to. And the idea of this is the big machine is the economy. And I definitely have certain feelings about this. I'm like, it feels like our lives are on a subscription. It feels like we're just getting paid monthly. Everything goes out monthly. And we go paycheck to paycheck. And it doesn't matter at this point where you are on that ladder and how much you get paid. Obviously, you get paid more, you can afford nicer things. But you still go paycheck to paycheck and you're still in this machine. You're just at a different level of the machine. And it's so weird and it feels so fundamentally broken, yet I really don't know whether there's a better way of doing things. And I think, because there's pros and cons, right? You say, well, the better ways of doing things is just stay in local community and don't trade outside and only buy from local businesses. And you go, right, well, yeah, that's all well and good, but then what? I mean, over here, we've got the beauty of having the NHS, which is one of the best things that's ever, one of the best things about our country even. And you go, well, if you just stick to local communities, you don't have the expertise of the healthcare system that we have, and it's free. Like, it just puts an emphasis on human life. So if you don't have the economy, you don't have the NHS. So it's really complicated. I mean, there's definitely ways to sort that out, but I don't know. I just think as a human race, we're not doing a horrendous job. I don't think we're awful. I think we can do better. Of course I do. But the idea of the big machine is if you're on that working class step and you're trying to work your ass off to work up, it's so hard and so difficult, and it should be easier. I'm a big advocate for equality of opportunity. Everyone should have the same chance to succeed, but it just doesn't happen because people use money and reinvest in their own offspring. And again, there's nothing wrong with that because it's family. Like everyone puts family first. It's a problem I'm not going to solve in this video, and it's a problem I'm not going to probably not solve at all, but I can always cast my opinion on it. Anyway, but you could feel the passion in there, and it is a lot more difficult from people trying to get out of the working class and work their way up. I do appreciate that, and I do think we need to find better ways to provide opportunity for everyone. But anyway, I'm going to stop going on because we get into the chorus, and then that final line to wrap it all up. My first rifle was a 243. Papa gave Daddy, and Daddy gave to me. It's just a really nice way of ending on it, and I think it was really nice, and it was just a nice song. And like I say, these things get me talking. I've waffled on for way too long, but I enjoyed the video. I enjoyed Whiskey Myers, and I actually really want to see them live. So I'm going to get myself over to America at some point. Anyway. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that notification bell to stay with all the latest videos, and please, please, please hit that subscribe button, and you will join the community right here, be part of the 94 Club. We would love to have you get involved in the comments, all of that good stuff. Thank you. Peace.